Hello everyone, welcome to my first time doing the 3-2-1 collab. It's hosted by Donna, who is Little Spaceman Papercrafts, and the object of this is we're allowed to use staples from our craft room like a trimmer, pattern paper, black ink unless she says otherwise, cardstock, glues and tape, that kind of stuff. And then we get three items that she tells us each month to do our creations with. And this month it was die cuts, gems, and a coloring medium such as your alcohol markers, like your Copics or Spectrum Noir, or in my case Stampin' Blends, pencils, like colored pencils, ink and a water brush, which is what I used, and watercolors. So you could use those. Those are the only 3 additional things besides the basics, okay? Now, having said that, since black ink is a staple that we can use, you would think you could stamp, but stamps weren't on the list and I wasn't sure, so I didn't use stamps. And I'm like, well, what am I going to do with a coloring medium if I don't stamp? So anyway, I'll get into that as we go through. So I picked out for my paper, and I did use Stampin' Up this time. Sorry guys. Well, not sorry, because it's pretty. I used this Share What You Love Specialty Designer Series paper. This is one of the sheets, and you can see it has some, like, it's not really foil, it's like glaze on it or something. Anyway, and it looks like watercolor in the background, so this is the one I use, and it's mostly greens. It's Tranquil Tide, Mossy Meadow, and Pear Pizzazz, and Basic Black, and then some white in the background. So that's the first thing. And then of course I pulled the cardstocks out to match. Mossy Meadow, Basic Black, Tranquil Tide, and Pear Pizzazz. And then before I thought you weren't allowed to use stamps, I went looking through my stamp sets to go with the paper, sorta. So I picked out this Falling Flowers, and it has a matching framelit called Mayflowers. And what I did, I actually stamped out a bunch of images, and I was going to color them and then use them. And then I realized, well, maybe I'm not supposed to use stamps. I found out later, yeah, you can, but it's okay. I did okay without them, because the die set has a couple dies that don't go with the stamps, and I ended up using these 2 dies from the Mayflowers framelits, and they're in the annual catalog as well. Okay, and then I also used the Well Written Framelits dies, and I just used the word thanks. And then we're allowed to use gems, so I haven't used them yet, but we're going to use these gold faceted gems, and you'll see how. And then I used my Tranquil Tide and Pear Pizzazz ink pads with my water brush, my aqua painter, or whatever they're called. And how I did that is I just did the, push down on the back to use it as watercolor. Now, that was another question. She didn't say you could use watercolor paper, so I did not. I just used Whisper White that I had in my scrap bin, and I just got, hang on. Of course, I stick my thumb in the ink, and now I have ink under my fingernail. That is just Deb. That's a Deb thing, right? Anyway, so I apologize. My thumb's going to be a mess now. And so those are what I used, and I ended up not using black ink at all. Yeah, so here's what I did, and I have 2 cards we're going to put together. This is the first one, and this is the second, and then these are the watercolor strips. So, yeah, let me move stuff away for a second, and we're going to start to assemble these. So the first thing is I used, sorry about that, Pear Pizzazz cardstock, and then Basic Black, and then the designer paper on top. So let's just start gluing that down. thought I'd do a little bit of, see, there's the back. It looks like, to me, it looks like little paw prints almost, or I don't know what you call that, but it's kind of cool too. But I wanted to use the other side this time because I've had this paper, and it's in the annual catalog. It's beautiful papers. There's different colors in it. And if you'd like me to share with you what that paper looks like again, I can go through the whole pack. So now the measurements for these are, I believe this is 5 1/4 by 4, and this is 5 7. I'm sorry. Yes, that's right. And 5 3/8. Is that right? Hang on. Let's see, 5 1/2, so 1, 2, yeah, 5 3/8 by 4 1/8 is the black mat, and then 5 1/2 by 4 1/4 is the Pear Pizzazz. Now I didn't cut the stuff for the inside, so I will do that when we're done. But what I'm going to do on the inside is just a basic black mat like this one, with a Whisper White cardstock on top so you can write on it. So that's the first one. Let's do this one too. The piece of paper I cut out of the designer paper, oops, sorry, I'm not on screen, is the designer paper. Had enough for 2 cards, which is why I did the 2. And this is the hard part for me because you see I got it a little off center, so let me try and move it over just a tad. Just a tad. You just have a couple seconds to do that with this glue. And I am not using the Stampin' Up! Glue. I'm using art glitter glue in this little bottle today. Get that one quite as straight as I like, so I'm going to turn it that way. Put the skinny part at the bottom. Oh, no, I'm not, because the flower design will be messed up. Anyway, yeah, watch your patterns, that's for sure. Okay, and you don't need a whole lot of this glue, because once it's down, it is down. Alright, there we go. So then the next thing is we're going to put our black strip across here, wherever you would like it. And I'm not going to bump that up. And we're just going to go up about a 1/2 inch from the bottom and put our strip. And then we're going to put sort of our crinkled watercolor. And all I did was took the water pen. First I put Tranquil Tide down, then I thought it looked a little too, you know, blah. So then I put Pear Pizzazz over it. And the Tranquil Tide had already sort of dried, but the background of this paper looks watercolored to me. So hopefully this is going to stick. We're going to try it. It's a little bit crinkly because I didn't use watercolor paper. So let's see what we can come up with. And I made it just a slightly, I think I made it the same length but slightly smaller on the edges, the top and bottom edges. Hang on, that's a little crooked. There we go. Hard to tell because it's so crinkly, right? I'm going to flip it over and rub it this way. See if we can get that to tack down. Yeah, that tacked down a little better. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to put the thanks. Yeah, I got to get a little bit more wavy. And I even had them under some stuff, so yeah, might have to rub that just a little more. Get my workout in today. Ta-da! Okay, so we're going to put the thanks here, and then I cut this flower out in Tranquil Tide, Pear Pizzazz, and Tranquil Tide, and this one has a hole in the center. So we're going to glue this together like this, sort of offsetting. And we're going to put it right here, and then we're going to put a big gem in the middle. So let me get these layered together first. And then I'm sorry, I'm off camera here. I sort of moved the camera forward, and now I'm off center too much. So if you want, you can, fast forward, but I hope you'll watch through. And be sure to go over and check the other participants in the hop. This is a really fun hop. And I'm not gluing all the way out to the edge, just the center part. And I'm going to do the offset like that, because I want the edges to curl a little bit. And I might take my one of my tools or a pencil or something and try and curl the ends even a little more. So these will definitely be dimensional cards. Once you get these flowers on, you probably would either have to pay extra postage or make them be cards that just you give to someone. Now let's see. Oh, I just noticed that one's sort of more rounded down here. Yeah. How about that? So we're going to offset that a little bit too, like that. There we go. And then that we're going to glue down over here. And I'm just going to glue the center part real good on there. And put it about there. Now let's glue our thanks down. I love these little fine tip bottles. This one, I got some bottles off Amazon, and they have that plastic thing, and the bottles work fine. However, they just have a little rubbery thing that goes on the top, and that broke, and it didn't stop the glue from clogging. So I was watching Jen Evers. If you're not familiar with her, she's Crafty Crafts, Koala. Her name's Jen Evers, and her YouTube channel is Jen Evers. Anyway, she had a sale one time, and at the end of the sale she brought these out, and she has stainless steel pins. Now you probably can, I have more of these bottles, I just need to find more stainless steel pins. So that's that. Now let's just get a big gem here, and they're already self-adhesive. These are called gold faceted gems, and they come in silver too, but I think the gold goes better with the colors here. And I'm just going to put a little more glue on there, because I never trust the adhesive backing completely. And that's really our card. Pretty simple but effective, I think. Now let's do the other one. Let's sit that back here somewhere. Same thing. We're just going to first glue the black down. I just used the other flower on this one is all. And I think they make really cute cards. So I use just the die cuts, the gems, which are the gold faceted gems, and the watercolor inks and water brush, sorry. Alright, I'm going to use a different glue for this. I'm going to use my mono combo glue because it's a little bit thicker. Oops. Yes, a little thicker. I should have put the I'm using the fat end, which I don't usually do, but it had some glue glopped on it, so I should have pulled that off first. There we go. Just dabbed it to get it started. And I have to be careful. I don't want this blobbing out all over the place, but I do want good coverage, so hopefully this watercolor paper will stick a little better. I'm going to turn it, which way? This way. And then we'll just do the same. Still wrinkles up a little bit, but not too bad. It's all right. I think that's good. Okay, now we're going to use the fine tip. Now here I did Mossy Meadow Pear Pizzazz, and these I'm going to line up because I don't like these with the alternating pattern. There was a trick to this, which I had found, but now I've lost. I was lost, but now I'm found. There, I think. Nope. Nope. Okay. All right. Okay, let me look at the bottom. That one. I think it's there. Well, guys, I thought I had these lined up. One sec. Oh, that goes there. All right, I had to look for that shape. Which is not that one. There, I think it's that one. There we go. Alrighty. And I like the Tranquil Tide on top because it's darker against the light background here. So that's how we're going to do it. Now if I can keep them in order. Alright, let's see. I'm going to hold on to both of those for the moment. And these I will glue all the way down, hopefully. So yeah, you can put me on fast forward, put some music on, you know, grab a cup of something. I have coffee today for me. The last of the leftover, I actually made it the other day, yesterday I think. I'm drinking leftover coffee. I used to have one of those Keurig kind of machines, and it broke, and my friend Charlie fixed it, and then it broke again, and I finally gave up on it and just said, you know what, for $150 or whatever they are nowadays, yeah, I'm not gonna buy another one to have it break like that. You know, it would make half cups. Oh, here we go. I thought that was the one. I thought that was the one. That's not the one either. Is that the one? That might be the one. Yep. Okay. So there we go with that one. I don't mind if they're a little off. I just don't want them way off. Okay. We're going to glue half at a time so I don't get the order mixed up. And now you could also run this die through with adhesive sheets, and then or if you have a Xyron, which I do, and I forgot to use it, but sometimes the sticky you know, comes through the openings when you have a lot of openings like this. I don't care for that, but the adhesive sheet would probably work with this. I just always forget to use them. So anyway, I don't mind using the fine tip glue, you know. Yeah, so anyway, I hope you're enjoying this collab. Thank you, Donna, for letting me join in Little Spaceman Crafts, because yeah, this is really fun. Now I will not glue it all the way down. I mean, I'll just glue the center parts down onto the watercolor part, maybe like that. Let's see how that goes. Like that. Okay, and let's put a gem on right in the middle there. Because I just think that adds a pop of fun. And then we'll just do our thanks. I always need thank you cards. I have to get better about sending them. And I probably need to make more birthday cards too. Now this flower is a little bigger, but it'll still fit. There we go. There's our 2 cards. I just have to get the insides done, which like I said will just be a black mat with a white, I mean, you could write on this, but because the front's heavier, I like the inside to have a little substance too. So there, I had fun making these. It kind of forces you to look at your stash a little differently. So I didn't mind that I was wrong. I'm thinking I couldn't use the stamps because it made me do the die cuts, and I actually really like that. So, and I see you're seeing the shine and the flowers there. Yeah, really pretty. Thanks for watching. Hop on over to the other people that are down below this video and have a wonderful day. It should be March 1st when this is up, so happy March, guys. Have a great one. Hugs, love, and peace.